Good morning, everyone. Today is the day 4 of our regular session, SAP FICO. We'll be discussing about the GL accounts today. So, first thing is the definition of the GL account. GL account are nothing but the general ledger which are used to record the transactions. If we talk of the examples of the GL account, those can be the share capital, advertisement expense, accounts payable, accounts receivable. Within assets, we have computer, furniture, plant machineries. Others we can have like cash, bank, stock, loan. On the income side, we can have sales, interest income, discount received, and many other GL accounts as an example. Talking about the classification of the GL accounts in SAP, the major classification is either it is a balance sheet or P&L account. Let us see practically in the system. First classification I told for the GL account is whether it is a balance sheet or P&L account. So that is over here, whether it is a balance sheet account. If it is a balance sheet account, you choose the balance sheet account, and within balance sheet account there is another classification of cash account. So for the when you create the cash or bank GL account, you use this cash account functionality. Alternatively, you can also use the balance sheet account. And within P&L account, we have these three classifications: non-operating, primary, and secondary. So we have understood major classification is balance sheet and P&L. Within P&L, we have three classification: primary, secondary, and non-operating. And within balance sheet, we have other classifications like open item, non-open item, reconciliation, and non-reconciliation. Let's study about these one by one. Primary GLs. If we talk of the primary GLs, these are nothing but the P&L GL itself. Sorry, which are used to record the transactions in FI and then transfer their transactions from FI to CU. Secondary GLs, those are also the part of P&L GLs. Those are used for internal transfer of cost from one account to another, that is within CU. Third is non-operating GL. Non-operating GLs are also the part of P&L GL, and they are used to record the transaction only in FI, and they do not transfer the transaction in the controlling, means CU. So if we talk of the difference of primary, secondary in non-operating is the primary GL records the transaction in FI and transfers the cost from FI to CU. Non-operating GL is a part of P&L GL that records the transaction in FI but that do not transfer in the CU. Secondary GL is used for internal transfer of cost from one GL account to another GL account but within controlling, within CU. Coming to the further classification of the balance sheet, we have open item and non-open item GLs. Let's check in the GL account master data where do we have this control. You can see this particular check mark for open item managed. When you tick this check mark, or when any GL account has this check mark, that means that is managed on an open item GL account. Now what is the impact of that open item check mark? So initially when a transaction is recorded in such kind of GL, they have the status as open item. When I say that they have the status as open item, they are represented by a red circle icon. So you can see the GL account 100/700 in company code CO05 has these many postings, and all those postings have the status open. That means they are initially recorded only and they are not cleared. Once they are cleared, this red status changes into this kind of symbol, green square. So these are the balance sheet GLs. They have the status as open item when they are initially recorded, but later when they are cleared, they show the status as cleared. Talking of the non-open item GL accounts, their status is always balanced. Balanced meaning posted. They are also the part of balance sheet GLs and they do not need clearing. Let us see an example of this. When any GL account doesn't have this check mark, that means it is a non-open item GL account. If it is non-open item GL account, during the initial posting, it will have the status as balanced or posted, a simple tick mark, and this will not require clearing. So now we are clear about the open item GL account and non-open item GL account. Next is the next classification within the balance sheet is whether it is a reconciliation GL or non-reconciliation GL. So both are classification of the balance sheet itself. If the GL account is related to fixed assets, if it is related to fixed assets, customer and vendor, then it is a reconciliation balance sheet GL. If it is related to, yeah, but if it is not related to these three categories, customer, vendor and fixed assets, then it is a non-reconciliation balance sheet GL. Let us see in the GL account master data where this control exists. If you can see reconciliation account for account type. This particular field, we have the asset, customer and vendor. If this field is blank, that means the GL account is a non-reconciliation GL. But if it is filled with asset, customer or vendor, then it is a reconciliation GL account. So now we have come to understand about all those points mentioned here about the GL account. We understood the definition of the GL account, the example of the GL account, major classification into balance sheet PL, sub classification of the P&L into primary, secondary and non-operating, sub classification of balance sheet into open item, non-open item, sub classification of balance sheet into reconciliation and non-reconciliation. I hope now you can differentiate between open item, non-open item GL accounts, between reconciliation, non-reconciliation GL account, and between primary, secondary and non-operating GL accounts. So that's all about the GL account discussion today in our day 4 session. We'll meet again tomorrow. Thank you.